वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है, वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी, एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानपुर से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा है। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा, ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to our today's webinar of Business Opportunity Over Chai. Business Opportunity Over Chai presented by the management of Franchise India with an aim to introduce you with a new brand every day at 12 o'clock for new business opportunity with new brand. Today again we are live and presenting India's leading contemporary restaurant and banquet facility brand called Saraza. Sarsa offers a multi-cuisine gastronomy experience, specialty curated by internationally renowned celebrity chef Ajay Chopra. Today we have Mr. Kushal, Managing Director, Mr. Martin, Director at Sarsa, in front of you to share with you more details related to brand. Apart from the Sarsa team, we do have Mr. Santosh from our consultant team to brief you more about the model and the invitation and the investment part. Kushalji and Martinji, I would like to welcome you on our panel today, and I would want to request you to tell us more about the brand and the planning you have behind the brand. What is the motto? How did you start this brand? And what all you're looking for into the investors you want to take as a franchise partner with us. Over to you, Kushalji. Kushalji, am I audible to you?
Yeah, Saraza was with and when we start. Am I audible there?
Yes, but I think there's some network problem at your end. So
yes, Kushalji, there seems to be some network issue at your end.
yes. Meanwhile, I would like to welcome Mr. Chef Ajay Chopra also. As I can see that he's already joined. He's a familiar face on MasterChef India. Chef Ajay Chopra started his career in 1998 as a prep cook with TJF, and in the past 2 decades has worked with some of the heavyweights in the industry like Oberoi, Marriott, and Starwood. With multiple TV shows in his kitty, he is a household name in India. Chef Ajay, I would like to welcome you on our panel, and I would want to request you to please share some inputs related to the brand with us, brand Sarsa. Over to you, Chef Ajay.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. So first of all, Kushal Bhai and I would like to welcome you all to this webinar. For people who don't know me, I'm a chef by profession, and been in this industry. This is my 25th year, and till 2014, I served as the executive chef of Westin Mumbai. That was my last job. And post that, I opened a consulting firm where we have helped over 36 restaurants to come to life. And I joined Kushal Bhai and the team at Saraza as a consultant, but over a period of many years of association, we are no longer a consultant-client relationship. We are brothers now. And I proudly say that, Saraza is mine, and Kushal Bhai proudly says that I'm his. So talking a bit about Saraza, so this whole thought came that Rajkot is a place where maximum families have got connections and family living in the US or Canada or Europe, or or they're continuously traveling. But when they come back to their hometown, there was a dearth of a good place which could give them food which is of international standards, food which is which kind of compares them to a place. And if they're guests coming to Rajkot, then they probably had not many options to go to apart from a few five-star hotels. There was no standalone restaurant. Banqueting is definitely a good space in Gujarat overall, because people like to enjoy and have bigger parties and bigger functions. And so typically if you would have to do 1,000 pax function in Mumbai, you would probably get a banquet hall which is as big as not more than 3,000, 3,500 square feet. But the same thing in Gujarat would need a 7 to 8,000 square feet place to operate. And that was the reason. So we thought, what was the need in Rajkot that we had to come up with this amazing grand place? And that's where we said we're going to start with the restaurant, a bakery and a cafe, and a banqueting space. And it's been almost 4.5, nearing 5 years that we have been running Saraza successfully. Huge reviews across social media and offline platforms. A lot of Saraza favorites and loyalists have already become, and now we want to take the brand to the country. Kushal bhai, you want to add something?
Thank you for the Chef rightly said,
Kushalji, if you can speak a little louder because your voice is.
back in 2018 when we conceptualized the whole project and wanted to bring in some good food to Rajkot, we had certain thoughts in mind. As the chef rightly said, that we are back from places around, and this lack of good food was always missing. We had those typical traditional things which were coming out, which were available to for the people to serve. So chef very meticulously planned the whole menu, and we started presenting food in Rajkot, which Rajkot didn't have. Be open by the next 4 months, and on your screen you see the Saraza Rajkot model that you have. We have a 102 cover restaurant, which again is planned to be finished. So what we have avoided is using sofas, for example, which is a big headache for the guests to move in, and the service is not done right because of the sofas. So small things have been planned for building in Saraza. Every minutest detail is taken into consideration. We have a facility of banqueting, and we have a facility uh, of turf loans where we do functions and where we do sports activities along the year. And that's how this whole concept is coming. This 4 years of learning in Saraza, now Saraza is ready to move on, and that's where we are inviting franchising partners to get this brand moving now. Santosh can help us with understanding the financials for the project. Santosh, over to you, please.
Thank you, Kushalji. Hello, everyone. As we can see, food industry in India, it is growing, okay, appreciating the good food outside. Okay, it has an increasing trend. Okay, it has been quite, it has seen quite an increase in this. If we look at the numbers, okay, we can see that the millennial population has increased in India, okay, which has led to increase in revenue, total overall revenue. In the year 2021-22, the data that we have, the accurate data, the going out, the eating out population increased by 2.5 times. Also, there was surge in delivery, the total revenue of which was around $21.4 billion. So it has an increasing trend. If you look at the data, okay, in the year 2020, in the organized segment, okay, there was a total revenue of around 1600 CR. Which has officially been projected to increase more than twice by the year 2025. So it is supposed to increase to around 3,300 crore. Also, the demographic shift. Okay, large number of Indian cities. Okay, they are getting developed. Okay, people are liking to go out. Okay, they are in expenditure on the food. Okay, it has been increasing. So that is also that the working population of India, it is increasing, which has led to tremendous growth within the sector. Plus, obviously, the increasing urbanization as well. The growth drivers being the obviously young population, disposable income, urbanization, nuclear families, and trend of eating out. For Saraza, they are offering their franchisee model in franchisee-owned franchisee operator format, where obviously the ownership will be the franchisee, investment will be brought by the franchisee. Franchisee will take care of the operation. They will have to follow the brand guidelines. The revenue will come under the books of franchisee. Expenses will be maintained by the franchisee. Franchisee will get the total revenue as well. Company is going to get the franchisee fees and the royalty. So these are two models, okay, which we have prepared for Saraza, which both are franchise and franchisee operated. But one of it obviously is very big format, which is around 3,300 square yards. Another is 33,500 square feet. Let me explain the bigger one first, okay, which is going to be in a strategic geography, which is going to be an integrated model, which will have a restaurant, which will have banquet facility also, and which will have bakery and cafe too. So it is going to be around 3,300 square yards. The total investment, which could be around 5.1 to 5.5 CR. Franchisee fees over here would be 30 lakhs, and there is a royalty of 15%. Agreement period is around 10 years, and the investment break-even is expected to happen between 3 to 3.5 years. Being on the very conservative side, we are expecting a revenue ROI of around 300% in 10 years, which we actually wanted to show a conservative number, but it is much more than the expected sale is much more than that. And this model is only going to be in the strategic geography. The other model is franchise and franchisee operated, which is outside Gujarat. This is for the major cities such as all the metros, Mumbai, Delhi, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune, Ahmedabad, not Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Kolkata. So these places, all the developed cities, plus the upcoming tier 2 cities such as Indore or Nagpur, where we can have liquor served as well, veg, non-veg food both. Within Gujarat, there is no liquor, only vegetarian. So initial investment for the for metros, okay, it is around 3.1 to 3.2 CR. Your franchisee fees remains the same at 30 lakh rupees. Royalty is going to be around 15% of the total revenue. Agreement is same around 10 years. Investment break-even is going to happen between 2.8 to 3 years, and the average annual ROI is around 34%. Again, on the very conservative side, the sales that we are expecting or that we are seeing at the moment at Rajkot, it is much more than that, and the investment was much higher as well. Obviously, you'll have question why 15% of royalties. So there is a lot of support that brand is offering to the franchisee partner, one of which is marketing and sales support. So with the franchisee will not have to worry about the marketing and the sales kind of support. Okay, all the kind of central marketing will be done by Saraza. Any kind of local marketing which is needed, so that is going to be on the cost basis, but Saraza will provide the creative for them. Saraza will also provide recruitment and training support to the franchisee. They will help with the recruitment. They will help the head chef at the local restaurant. They will take care of the training part of it. So it is going to benefit the franchisee. They will also provide the advertising support. They will also help with the initial operation support as well, to maintain the SLAs with the client, to maintain the SOPs, and ensuring in uniform Saraza's experience across their franchisee outlets. They are also going to help with the accounting part of it. Okay, they will extend their POS software products and services, which will help you bring the business and the customers, and be on par with the experienced players. Saraza is also going to help the franchisee partners with the site selection, with marketing and promotional activities, product training, software and accounting support. They will also provide the franchisee SOPs. They will help with the campaigns, social media presence, event and sponsorship, the CRM activities, initial operations as well. So when we say Saraza, why would we want to join Saraza? So Saraza obviously offers you a very good franchisee model, and it has a lot of other reasons also where you can get associated with Saraza and be proud of it and make good money as well at the same time. So obviously Saraza provides you a professional team of who are highly skilled, and they will help you with the production to marketing. They obviously have a proof of concept with highly profitable flagship restaurant in Rajkot. Quality control system, they are in place, sustainable production practices. They are equipped with latest machineries and technology, and they will help you with the same. And obviously their franchisee models are lucrative for the franchisee partners with impressive payback. I invite all of you to ask as many questions as possible. So we should be able to answer you with regards to the franchisee models and the brand. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, Santosh. Thank you so much. And thank you, Kushalji, for sharing some inputs related to brand. Thanks, Chef Ajay, for joining us and putting your comments over it. As I can see, there are people raising hands, so I would want to request you all, if you have any questions, please write them into Q&A box. As we are done with the presentation, now we are processing the process of question answer. So if you have any questions, instead of raising your hands, it's better if you can just write them into the Q&A window so that I can start taking up your question from Q&A window. So we'll start with the question answers now. There's a question being asked by someone: how many restaurants are there in running?
Yeah, we have one restaurant in running and 2 cafes in running.
Okay. And what are the locations?
All of them are based in Rajkot.
All right. All of them are based in Rajkot. Okay. Jayesh has asked, what is the total investment? I think it is already mentioned in the sheet, which is there live. The total investment here is around 5.1 to 5.5 CR, depending on the model you're going with, and it is on the basis of the cities, at whether you're in tier 1 or tier 2 cities. So I think, Jayesh, your answer is already there. Mr. Praveen has asked, is there a smaller restaurant format as well available, maybe around 2,000 square feet?
Hi, Mr. Jayesh. I think the lowest possible space that we would need is around 3,200 square feet to get the viability done.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we don't have any smaller partners.
Yes.
Okay. Anil has asked, is interested in Faridabad and Gurgaon.
Chef Ajay?
Hi, sorry, can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Yes, Mr. Anil has asked, you interested in Faridabad and Gurgaon?
Well, Faridabad is my hometown. My parents live in Sector 17, and Gurgaon, we already have a restaurant running called Plaka by Chef Ajay Chopra. See, Saraza is a brand which can easily encamp in any city because of the fact that, India, 70% of India is vegetarian, and there are very few pure vegetarian restaurants with this kind of class, right? So there are now coming up, there are certain names in Gujarat which are coming up as pure vegetarian restaurants, which will become icons in the whole country. So like we are doing another one in Ahmedabad. We can't reveal right now, but all I'm saying is that any city can imbibe this easily because the vegetarian people look for a place which is pure vegetarian. The non-vegetarians don't mind going to a great place, right? So it's a great place, but also it has the USP of being a pure vegetarian place with a world-class facility of everything that we're giving.
So that means you're open for Pardabad and Gurgaon also.
Kushal bhai, I think yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Mr. Hemang has asked, wanted to understand the difference between the variance of almost 2 CR within and outside Gujarat. Ideally, it should be otherwise.
Mr. Hemang, I'm glad you came up with this question. So the difference is because of the model size. The first model, if you see, is around 3,500 square yards, which is where we are building up the whole, where the project is on a leased on a private land or a leased land, where we will build the whole structure as per the need. Is a little bigger in size because it has a party lawn, it has a cafe, it has a rooftop, and that is the reason it is coming out to be expensive. This kind of models are working very well in Gujarat these days, and that is the reason it is a little expensive. The ones that the difference outside Gujarat is because you're looking at high street places or mall spaces, the square feet area is lesser, and that's the reason the investment is less.
I think it's
So-
quite understood, Hemang.
Yeah, so within the in the strategic geography that we are looking at, okay, it is 3,300 square yards. So it comes to around 28,000 square feet. It will obviously include the restaurant, your banquet, your lawns, your bakery, all the things, all the amenities as well. With the FOFO model, which we are looking outside Gujarat, okay, it is around 3,500 square feet, which includes only restaurant part of it.
Okay, thank you. Shubham has asked, what is the ROI period?
ROI for 3,300 square yard model, that is around 3 to 3.5 years. Okay, and on the conservative side, we are making around 300% revenue.
Okay.
And
So-
outside Gujarat, it is 2.8 to 3 years.
All right. So it start from 2.8, or I would say like in 3 years
Yes.
is the duration which we take it for. Okay. Mr. Ajay has asked, are we open for Punjab?
Yes, we are open for Punjab.
And which part of Punjab, it is very important.
Okay.
So I think, Punjab is a very, very beautiful market. Whether you talk about Chandigarh, Ludhiana or Jalandhar, people in Punjab love great food, and, we promise great food anyways. But, the very fact of Punjab also is that it thrives on non-veg. So some of the markets may or may not be great for us, but we'll have to take it, with the city that comes it. So Punjab is a large market. Some of the places like, Faridkot also might have great money, but we might not be able to open something there. But Ludhiana, yeah, I think there is a big divide and big population of veg as well as non-veg people. Jalandhar, maybe, right? Amritsar, surely. So, that comes.
He's asking for Chandigarh.
Chandigarh for sure. See, Chandigarh is a very cosmopolitan market today. And Chandigarh is also not Chandigarh anymore. It's expanded to Mohali and Zirakpur. So, larger restaurant spaces are also happening there. And, if you go for the bigger model of Saraza in places like these, people are ready to travel, 10, 15 kilometers to come to a nicer place. And most of the places that are actually now coming up, the newer ones, are not really in the heart of Chandigarh. They're actually kind of traveling for at least 6 to 8 kilometers outside. So whether it's Derabasi or Zirakpur or Mohali, there a lot of good places are coming up.
Okay. Thank you, Chef. Mr. Jaish has asked, how are you different from the other restaurants? So I think he wants to know the specialty we have, which makes us
Okay,
different.
so again, like I could answer this in two particular ways. One is a restaurant is a restaurant is a restaurant, right? You go there and eat food and come back. But there are certain restaurants which remain with you. There are certain restaurants which leave a memory with you, and the memory is only because it has touched all your five senses. When you entered, the visual was fantastic. The food visual was fantastic. When you hear the right music, with your food, and you're not having pizza with sitar, you're not. So basically, your ears, then your touch and your smell, and all your five senses are getting attacked at the same time, and you're carrying back an experience which is, wow, this was great. So I think that's what differentiates a good restaurant from a great restaurant. So we have always tried to create great restaurants, and Saraza is definitely one of them, because this is not just my saying, but this is written feedback from like at least 500 to 700 people, which have tried Saraza, and maybe more, Kushalbhai, if I'm not got the latest comment cards. But I'm just saying that, wow is the place that people say about Saraza when they come in. Why is because, if we have to do a pizza, we will not use maida. We will use the 00 flour, which is used in Italy, for a Napolitana pizza. If we have to use avocado, it will come from Mumbai. If we have to use burrata, it will come from, a good source like Goloka Cheese Farm, which is in between Mumbai and Surat, is where we source our cheese from. So those guys are, artisan cheese makers who make things, sometimes specially for us. So I think that's where we become differentiated with our produce, with our presentation, with our flavor profile, and with the memory we send back people with.
Okay, very well explained, Chef. Thank you so much. Mr. Hemang has asked a question.
And Neha, also to highlight, we only use fresh ingredients. There are no.
Okay,
so,
that's really wonderful.
So only
So-
fresh material, nothing else.
I must say, we are not giving only food; we are giving the whole experience, which makes us different from the restaurant which are already there in the market. So there is one more question. Hemang is asked, the initial investment. Okay, what is the initial investment? Do we have anything like that? Like initially, let's say we are starting up and we are coming up to be a partner with you. So what is the initial investment which is required?
Since 3,300 square yard, okay, it is a bigger model. Okay, the initial investment over there is between 5 to 5.5 CR. It is going to happen only in the strategic geography. The other one, 3,500 square feet, it's a smaller model and it contains only restaurant. So there the investment is between 3 to 3.5 CR. So
Okay.
so major difference is there. Obviously, your interiors for the restaurant will remain the same across both the models. But then the bigger model, okay, it has all the other things also. So additional investment goes there.
All right. Thank you. Shubham is asking, can an investor directly open a restaurant only and not the banquet? Do we have this option also?
The other model is only a restaurant model, 3,500 square feet outside Gujarat.
Okay.
So
The
that is
second one.
model. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we can go ahead with the restaurant also. If somebody only wants to go for a restaurant, they want to go for the banquet, so they can choose restaurant. They can go ahead with the same. Perfect. Okay. Mr. Mir is asking, pure vegetarian model is available for Gujarat also?
Yes. In Gujarat, only vegetarian model. No liquid.
Saraza is going to be Saraza's USP is pure vegetarian food. So Gujarat and outside Gujarat, it's going to be pure vegetarian.
Be it any place, they are pure vegetarian.
Pure vegetarian.
Okay. Shashwat has asked, will Saraza will provide a franchisee in a small town like Katni or Jabalpur?
We can do the market research, and if we see the potential, and so it's a case sensitive project. So we'll see the market potentials, and if the market potentials refer with the figures that we are looking at, yes, we can.
To an extent, Jabalpur has potential. Katni might not be a strategic place.
Okay. All right. There's one more question I can see. What all support the investor gets after joining hands with you?
Sir, in regards to the support, the whole model is planned in a way that from the sign up to the execution of the project, there is a team which will get involved with the project. Yeah. From the selection of the land or the premises, to the interior setup, to the workmanship, to the buying of the equipments, the BOQs, until we get into the operational model and make sure that the SOPs have been well trained, the system has been well followed. You have all the support from the brand. The whole support system is divided into two parts. One is the front of the house and the back of the house. We have Chef Ajay with us. So Chef Ajay's team take care of the kitchen and the menu management and the recipes and the training of the team. And there is a front of the house training team as well, which does the front of the house training.
All right. Okay, one more question is there, though I think we have covered this question previously, but it's there, so I would like to take up how it is different from Gwalia. Gwalia has the same facility in Ahmedabad.
I think Chef Ajay, Chef, you're on a mute.
Yeah. So I can answer that question better. So the thing is that I'm also working with the Gwalia people for another project. Like I said, the differentiator, is the product itself. When you pick up a Louis Philippe shirt versus a Zara shirt versus a Peter England shirt, the cloth itself will tell you that what are you buying. And, with restaurants, I think we don't have a touch and feel model like this, but when you enter a restaurant or enter a banquet facility, like Kushalbhai was saying, that you look at the small touches, the small nuances that have been taken care of. And that's where you say, this is a great place. Now, that is what we have taken care of because, खाना तो सब खिला रहे हैं. Restaurant में आएंगे, लोग खाना खा के जाएंगे, अच्छी mocktail होगी, अच्छा खाना होगा, वो सब कर रहे हैं. But how do we differentiate ourselves? That are we giving, if we are saying, if it's, if it's we are just serving pina colada and virgin mojito, or are we taking the next step and are we saying that, let's look at an El Monde as a drink which is going on. So how, for example, I curate my beverage menus is I look at a cocktail, which is a trending cocktail, and I remove the alcohol from it. It tastes great. Why should the zone drinks get deprived of that flavor, and that because it's got alcohol in it? No. So you have to think beyond what. When I work with them, huge respects to them. But what they are not doing, we are doing. In other words, if I can say,
Yeah, I think we lost.
Yes, yes.
So
I
what
think.
Chef was trying to explain is that food is food, right? But then how it is presented, what it takes care of, what is it that is missing and what has been served. To give you an example, Chef was giving an example of the beverages which are being served, right? So how do you take a level up and serve those beverages which are not available, which are served in a different manner? For example, soya chap is one of those options where you have you have the urge of eating non-veg, but you're not eating non-veg. So you give them the same feel by using soya chap and creating dishes from it, which neutralizes both.
Great. Very well explained, Kaushal sir. Mr. Shubham is asking if an investor wants to keep staying facility like rooms, are we open for that?
For now, we are not open to rooms. But yes, again, as I said, if the market, if there's a demand in the market, and if the banqueting facility has a demand for or a requirement for rooms, we can look. We are doing a project in Jamnagar, which is a room project, which is going to be a 52 rooms and a 2 banquet with a 100-seater restaurant and one coffee shop, 124-hour coffee shop, and a clubhouse. So yes, we are open to rooms as well, depending on what is the requirement and what is the capex that we are looking at.
Okay. What is the criteria to finalize an ideal location as per the brand?
There are 5 criteria, sir, basically, in regards to finalizing the location. It will very much depend on what is the model that we're looking at. Is it a high street model or the mall model that we're looking at, or the standalone model that we are looking at. Based on what model you are selecting, there are specific criteria that we are looking at, because the target audience that we are looking at is very specific. So based on those lines, which model you are going on, we have the brand criteria to.
All right. So one more question I can see here. What is the average ticket size?
The average ticket size in Gujarat is considered at 800, 850, and outside Gujarat is at around 1100.
Okay. Hemang is asking for banquet hall, let's say for marriages, upscale family gatherings and parties. What would be the rent charges?
The current model that we are offering doesn't have a rent in the banquet, because the food is done by Saraza. If the food was not done by Saraza, it would have been a different scenario. But because the food is done by Saraza and it is in the same premises, the rent is included in the food cost.
Okay. All right. Mr. Praveen has asked a question. The chefs and the kitchen staff will be hired by the brand only?
Yes.
Okay, you'll be hiring the staff.
We will be
helping
help.
The
We will help in hiring the staff.
And what about the training part?
Will be done by the brand.
Okay, all right. So how would you do the training part? Let's say, our base is in Rajkot and we are opening one outlet or one restaurant in Faridabad. So, how would we do it? Are we going to send our team to Faridabad, or people who have been hired, they have to travel and come to Rajkot to take the training?
We have a team which is called a pre-opening team that travels to the that will be traveling to the restaurant where it is opening up. The key members of both the front of the house and the back of the house will be coming down to the current model for a 2-month training for understanding, because that will already be operational while the construction is happening there. And then, yes, the team from the brand will be coming in at the location for the training of the entire team and setting up the SOPs.
Great.
Apart from that, Neha, there would also, apart from that, there would also be a monthly training and a monthly roundup audit of what is happening. So the SOPs and the food audit will constantly happen on month-on-month basis.
Okay, all right. There's one last question which I'm going to take up now. Which part of the population are you targeting?
We're targeting the middle class, upper middle class segment, where somewhere we're looking at the APCs of around 800 plus in Gujarat and around 1100, 1200 plus. So it's basically the family crowd that we're looking at. I would not probably want to specify it to any class specific, because these days we've seen we've had families coming down. We've had families coming to us saying that, sir, we generally used to go for a meal twice a month, but we come to you only once a month, but we want to come and have good food, So we would not keep it class specific, but yes, the APC is going to be around 800 in Gujarat, 800 plus, and around 1100 plus outside Gujarat, where we have the alcohol as well, which gets the APC higher.
Great, wonderful. Great, Vishalji, thank you so much for joining us today. And I think the brand detail and updates which you've shared with us today are insightful and useful for the people who are watching you live right now. And I'm sure the brand and the concept, so the brand itself is very much there in the market. Everyone knows Chef Ajay as well. He's joined us. So thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today and sharing so much with us and with the partners, the participants who have joined us today. And all the very best for the franchisee opportunities you're coming up with for our investors in the market, in Indian market, basically. And I personally like your concept because you are coming up with pure vegetarian restaurant along with the banquet, which is already there in demand, because it's not always restaurant which can give you the revenue. It's when you are coming up with something add-on, as in you have added on the banquet part along with the restaurant. So it's a good opportunity for the investors, especially people who wants to do something into F&B and they do have the kind of experience into F&B. So it was really lovely hosting you today on this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank
For
you.
the
What's the
people
question?
who have joined us today, thank you so much for joining us today. And we tried to take up all your questions. And if we've left any questions, my team is going to get in touch with you within a day or two to have a one-on-one discussion. Thanks a lot for joining us today. If you have any questions, any query, you can get in touch with us on our hotline number, which is 9717683838. You can also write us at feedback@franchiseindia.com. Thank you so much, all of you. Have a lovely